Hello everyone, it's Natasha from Treasure Books. In this video, I will show you fun and creative envelope hacks that are perfect for enhancing your journals or as standalone gifts. More specifically, I will share 6 easy and practical projects that you can make using everyday envelopes. So without further ado, let's get to it. Starting off nice and easy, project number 1 is ephemera pockets. And what you will notice about this project is that it's simply an envelope that's been turned upside down and slit open here on the sides. And we are creating tuck spots and pockets and a whole bunch of fun stuff. I'm going to show you what I did here so that you can get inspiration in a moment. But first, let's make the project. So you have your envelope. This one's obviously coffee sprayed. It doesn't have to be. I had this on hand. And you're going to turn it upside down. And we're going to take a tiny little sliver off each end. Here we go. Just cutting a tiny little sliver off because I don't want to make this much shorter here. I like to keep this kind of a shape. So just cut enough off so that you can, open the envelope fully. All right, great. At this stage, you can open the envelope fully, and we're going to play around with that as well. At this stage, I like to kind of go around and ink the edges. All right, the edges are inked, totally up to you if you want to do that or not. And then the next step is to fold the envelope in half. So do this first. And now we're going to make a tiny little notch here on both sides so that it's easier to take out whatever is inside the pocket. I like to find the approximate middle, or you can just eyeball it, of course. But for some reason, I like to be precise with this one because I want them at exactly the same spot. I'm only using this book page underneath because I have an extremely dull punch here, and I've tried every remedy there is. So I have tried everything, and this punch needs to go into the bin. But I find my ways. All right, now the next side. See how beautifully that punches with the something underneath? Okay, so now what I like to do at this stage, if you'll notice, if you were to put something in here, when you're taking it out, this kind of moves out, even if you glue it here. This section here, that will annoy you. So what I like to do is glue it down, but I don't glue it down here because then I lose pocket space, right? So I just put a tiny little bit of glue on the actual flap rather than on this part here, okay? I don't know if that's making any sense, but here we go. I will show you why in a moment. And also while I'm at it, I add a little bit of glue just up here and then close. Okay, now this will make sense. Because I have applied the glue onto the flap rather than onto the inside here, I have all of this space. It opens completely. Okay, I hope that's worthwhile information. And that's it. How easy and simple is this? And then, of course, you go ahead and embellish and fill up the pockets. So you have 2 pockets on the sides and 2 tuck spots here, and you're ready to go. Very easy, nice little pocket filler. So I'm going to show you what I've done with mine. At this stage, you can take this in so many ways. I glued this little piece of paper down. I could have left that as a pocket as well. So I could have just glued the 3 sides down. And then on the inside, I have just a couple of butterflies there. And then I made booklets. Just a few pieces of paper, actually 3 pieces of paper folded in half, and scrapbook paper folded in half to make a cover, a little something on the front. And I did this waterfall effect. I showed something like this in my previous video, and lots of people asked how to do it. I'm going to link a tutorial that I have on doing this kind of thing. It's so simple to do and so effective. Look how beautiful that looks. And that goes into this pocket. And then, of course, I did another one, and I kind of made them, this one's a little bit smaller than the previous one, so that the waterfall effect continues throughout, if that makes sense. So when that goes in, you can see how it just kind of continues on. Anyway, and then we have the tuck spots here, and really self-explanatory. Have some tags that I'm going to put in there. And this is gorgeous little thing. You can put money in there. You can write little note cards, and it can be a little gift. It can be an addition to a journal. It doesn't even have to be elaborate. It doesn't have to have booklets. This one here just has some journaling spots. I added some washi tape. You can see that I've sewn around because that's my thing. I love how that looks, basically. And again, I did the same thing. The front card is smaller than the one at the back, so you can kind of see. And to be honest, it looks better without the sewing, when it was just the washi tape visible. But experimentation is what it's all about, and I've done plenty of experimenting with all of the projects I'm going to show you today. So I'm really excited to move along from this, but this is the last thing I'm going to show you. In this one here, of course, I have, extra journaling space. This can go into a pocket in a journal or whatnot. I'm sure you're coming up with your own ideas of all the things that you can do. And then here, I just filled it up with ephemera and stuff. And I actually glued extra bits here, these 2, and I made them, such fun, into tuck spots. And it just looks so rich. When you open it, it looks, look at that, rich. All right, that's idea number 1. So simple. We're looking at an envelope in a different way. We're just turning it upside down, and off we go. And idea number 2 is booklets. I'm sure your mind went there. Did your mind go there when I was showing you the previous project? Basically, what we're doing here is exactly the same thing as what we've just done, but instead of doing it just a one-off, we're making little booklets. So I'll show you this one because this one's turned the other way. We'll come back to that. So you can see here, I have some long envelopes. Oh my God, this is going to give you so many ideas. I have embossed the envelopes, and I have 3 envelopes. Did exactly the same thing as what I've just shown you in the previous idea, but instead of leaving it as a one-off, I bound 3 envelopes together and made a book, essentially a pocket book with 12 pockets minimum, because potentially you can create more and more pockets. So I'll show you all the goodies in here, of course, because look how amazing that looks. It's just stunning. So we'll come back to all the details after we make the project. And in this one here, I only have 2 envelopes, and I bound them in the other way. Instead of binding it in this way, I bound it in this way, and I have this. We'll do this too. We'll do this in this video. Should we do this? This here, this gold here, you're not going to believe what that comes from. Do you recognize this? Do you know what this is? I had no idea what this is. I got this at a resource rescue center, and apparently this is like a fire blanket, or I think that's what it was. Now I forgot. But it's just a kind of a bag, a tube really. Have you seen these before? Do you know exactly what they are? If you do, let me know in the comments. I think I can make so many cool things with this, and I actually got quite a few of them. So that was a bit of a lucky find, and that's off the topic. Let's make this project. By the way, I probably should have mentioned at the beginning, for this project, for all of these projects, you can use any envelope that you have in your home. I kind of have a bit of obsession with envelopes, especially if I can find something like this with gold. But if you don't have any envelopes, then you can make your own, of course. I have plenty of videos on that too. I might link down below. We're gonna go through this real quick because I've already demonstrated what we need to do. So I am going to chop off the ends, fold it in half, and emboss. Okay, ends are chopped off, and now at this point your envelope can open all the way. At this point also you decide when you're making your book, do you want it like this, where the tuck spots are on the inside, or do you want it like this? Whichever way you want it is the way that you fold it. So I am going to fold this way. All right, here we go. That's one. Fold away, my dear. Now it's time for embossing. It's not, of course, not everybody has an embossing machine, but in case if you do, that's, you know, you can emboss. I am using this Big Shot Sizzix machine that I got secondhand off Facebook Marketplace. Nothing fancy. And this embossing folder, which who knows where I got that from. This is just something, you know, if you have the machine and whatnot, you can do this kind of thing. It looks really cool. You don't even have to have the machine. If you have these folders, you can use the rolling pin. You know, plenty of videos on that. There are ways. So that's the embossing process. Look how beautiful that looks. And I only show it because I do have lots of seasoned crafters watching this channel and also lots of newbies. So I will receive questions like, oh, what's an embossing machine and how do you do that? And, you know, that kind of thing. So I thought it would be better just to do a quick little demonstration and get on with it. All right, now we're doing the gluing business. Glue only on the flap. And assemble your envelopes. The tuck spots are facing up. I didn't do any inking, which I do like to do inking, but anyway, I forgot about that. That's fine. And now we have our 3 envelopes, and I'm going to bind them together. And while I'm at it, I'm going to add some beads, simply because I said I would have some beads in here. I have to make sure the needle will go through these beads, but I don't have to make sure because I've already made sure when I was beading the previous book. All right, so here we go. 3 holes, middle, top, and bottom, starting off in the middle hole from the inside out, of course. Now we're out here, we're going to do some beading. The bead, of course, has to be, the opening has to be large enough to go over the top of the needle. Checking how much more space I have. I think I've used up all of that space. Yes, I did. And go back inside. Here I am. Back inside. Oh, look how cool that looks. Isn't that cool? All right, and now we're going down to the bottom hole. Hello, we're on the outside, and now we're going to bead again. All right, so all the beads are on, and now back in through the middle hole. Here I am. Oh, the needle fell off, doesn't matter. Okay, and now pull everything nice and tight. I am going to chop this one off now. So you might have noticed that I don't measure the thread when I'm binding. I don't measure in advance. I just keep my needle on the spool of thread, and that way I'm not wasting anything. All right, here we go. Chop that off or tie a bow. And look how cute this is. A little bit, just word of advice here. If you're making a book that's going to be written in, don't go chunky on the beads, because whatever is there on the spine and can't be moved away is going to be in the way when you're writing. But if you're using little beads like this, it doesn't make any difference. It doesn't make it worse. So here are the tuck spots. Here are the pockets on the sides here. And you can, I mean, you can have more than 3. You know, you can have however many you want. That's pretty cool and fun thing to make. So that's just how you go about making it, the structure of it. And I'm going to give you ideas on what you can do with it. But first, let's look at some 5 blanket goodness, shall we? So, of course, first pocket here, I have just a journaling spot. So It's just tea-dyed cardstock that I covered in book pages. Love that look, and then a bit of something on top, and the fire blanket on the side. I think it's a fire or a shock blanket. I don't know what it is. Tell me if you know what it is. Tell me what it is. Here, I think it looks fabulous with the accents of gold. And then, you know, embellish the front. This can go many ways. You have this here to do something with, and obviously tuck spots and pockets to fill. And then over here, again, the same thing as the front pocket, and little pieces of ephemera in the tuck spots. This can be writing space, which would be difficult because it's embossed, but you can add, you know, like these journaling spots that I have on here, you know, that something like this, right? I mean, this can go a million different ways of what you can do with this. I'm just showing you some little examples. Lots of stuff in these tuck spots. Maybe this one can go here, and then just little pieces of ephemera. And I wanted to show you the beads, because how beautiful does that look? So I just bound the book exactly the same way as I've just shown, 3-hole pamphlet stitch, but I didn't do any beading on the spine. I just left these long and added my beads onto that, going for that bit of gold, bit of silver kind of look. And then, you know, everything is just falling into place so nicely when it's embellished. And then over here, I have the fire blanket thing, and I glued this. This is from a grabby box, I think it was. I will leave, you know, if you want to have a look at grabby boxes, there's so much fun stuff. It's a subscription thing. I'm going to leave a link down below if you want to have a look. And I'm only mentioning it because of these little beautiful, like stamp-like kind of see-through things. I love it. You know, it's pretty cool. And these are journaling spots that I have in all of the pockets. And then over here, again, little bits and pieces. And this one here has like a little stud earring kind of rock style look going on. Look at that. Fun, fun, fun. All right. And there we have it, little envelope pocket book. And that's the finished one. And this is the unfinished one. And, you know, have fun with that, because it's a whole lot of fun. Now let me show you this one real quick. Just 2 envelopes bound the other way, and of course the beads look fabulous. You've seen this gorgeous vellum, and then in this pocket I just have a little something, you know, you can put anything in there. That's what I was talking about before. You can do like little writing spots and, you know, bits and pieces. You can tuck a bit of money in there. Well, that looks like a tuck spot, but it's not. That's the glued part of the envelope. You know, you can just fill it up, you know. A bit of this and a bit of that. I just did this kind of thing. Isn't that fun? Look at that. Just a little piece of ephemera and cardstock, and I sewed it up and made a thing. And then this from a notepad, and then over here we have some postage stamps. Well, they're not real postage stamps, they're little images, and, you know, tuck spots and pieces of ephemera and journaling spots. And the last pocket we have this again. Oh, I don't know why I thought this is so much fun. Look at it. It looks so cool. It would be even better if this was a vellum, and then, you know, we can do something with that. And all this space with only 2 envelopes. So I'm thinking, is it 3 envelopes? No, it's actually only 2 envelopes. And lots of fun stuff. What do you think? Is that cool or what? All right, let's move on. Oh my. Idea number 3 is flip out pockets, and boy, do I love this one. Okay, let me just show you what it actually is. We have an envelope that we have opened on the sides. We'll do it together. We have glued an extra piece of paper on, so we're keeping this open. It's a flip out, okay? We glue this extra piece of paper on so that we can create a pocket, and we have journaling space, and we have a pocket, and we have fun. So what can you do with this? What I really wanted to show when I started making this one is that you can have it as a side flip out. So imagine this is a page in your journal, and then you have this side flip out. You have a pocket here, and it flips all the way out. Or of course you can have it on the top of your page. This can be a tuck spot, And then when you flip the page open, it can be, no, it's not glued now, so it's moving all over the place, but you get the picture. It can be flipped up, you have a tug spot, and it can be flipped. It's an interactive element, of course, that I love so much, and you know this if you watch my channel. The more things I have to kind of flip up to the side and down, as I'm demonstrating here, you know, and the more things I have to pull out and look at and work out how that works, the more fun I'm having. So that's what I wanted to just demonstrate when I started this one. I want to say you can have flip out, flip up, flip down, and then I ended up putting all three on the same little thing, and this got a life of its own kind of thing. So as I have just demonstrated, you put the flap over your page, right? This ended up having creating like this massive tag spot where I can put one of these journaling pages into, and this kind of stays in place. And then over here, when I open it up, I mean, this is too big to show in the video fully, but I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. You get the idea. So I love this. Look at this. It's not fitting. Look at all of this fun stuff. And then of course on this side over here, I had to finish. Look, these are just magazine images that are backed onto some paper, so cardstock rather. And I have this little thing that I can bind a signature in here, and it can be a little journal. Because why not? It was supposed to only be a page in a journal, but I'm sure you're brimming with ideas right now. Are you not? If you're getting any ideas in general that I haven't mentioned, please share them in the comments down below. I don't think I need to demonstrate this one. It's pretty self-explanatory, but let's have a quick walkthrough. You open the envelope on the sides, and then you'll be able to open it fully. And then I simply glued a piece of paper on the back of the envelope. So I only glued the three sides here, here, and here. And then of course that creates a pocket here at the front. Yeah, that makes sense, does it not? And that's it. And then you have this cool thing that you can play around with this idea. I'm not sure if I've got kind of something else to, I don't know. Let's see, I have this on my desk. You can, you know, when you have a simple idea, it just grows from there. That's how I get ideas. People often ask me, how do you get ideas? Do you ever sleep? Usually it's making stuff, and then the ideas just come. Like right now, we have created this, and then I have this on my desk. So what if I bind this into this, and it it gets a life of its own? It can even have some little beads here on the side. I can do that. And then we have something here, like a little wallet, right? And then this is bound in, and then we have stuff in here. And you get the picture, you know? What else can we do? I can have one of these in the pocket. Oh, isn't that great? I'm sure you haven't thought of that. All right, what else can we do? I'm just kidding. We can glue this on the back, and then it can be interactivity galore. The more things to open and examine and, you know, look at, the more fun. Shall we move on? Yes, let's move on. But before we do, look at this again. Just let's take a moment together to appreciate the beauty. Isn't it just, I mean, okay, I love this. Clearly, as you can tell, I love the outside. Okay, idea number 4 is a flip out bellied band. This is not my idea. I saw this, I believe it was on Pinterest or something like that. I'm not sure, but the concept is very simple, and you can see it's just 2 envelopes that are glued together. Of course, we're keeping the envelope intact. I just have, you know, a little something in there. It happens to be a card, and we're keeping the envelopes intact. We're not cutting anything open, and we're just kind of gluing them together and creating this fun interactive element, opening pockets, and then of course that's a belly band. So it's pretty self-explanatory how it's made, but let's make one nevertheless. So for this project, you want 2 envelopes that are the same, exactly the same, and then you're going to just do this, right? I mean, how easy? It doesn't get any easier than this. Just put them together like this. Flaps together, close one, close the other, and turn it the other way. And now you can see here, this space here needs some glue. It needs some glue, lovin'. There we have a little bit of glue. Close it and turn it around. Are you writing notes? Because it's so mighty difficult writing. Oh, see how that moves? We don't want it to move. All right, turn it around. Be gentle with it because that glue is not dried yet, so things can move. But essentially, this is all we have now. And now we go in with a little something here in the middle. Let's choose something from my book of die cuts. I just put stuff in here. You know, I was thinking of, actually, I'm not going to tell you, I'm just going to do it. I'll do what I was thinking of as a video series. Oh yes, this one looks mighty fine to me. Now this one needs to get some glue, lovin', but you don't want the glue to be kind of seeping out off of the thing. And here we go. Just want to make sure, okay, so we've just hidden that little hinge. I just want to make sure that nothing has moved. Lovely. This isn't going to be visible. And now you get your page in a journal. Let's say this is my page. And I want to glue this onto my page. I'm not going to glue it now because I want to do something fun with this. I want to make it more special. But you go ahead and apply glue onto two sides, just here and here. I'm pretend gluing, but you get the picture. And then you glue it down onto your page. So you've only got glue there and there. And then when you open your little thing, it's glued here on the sides, but you have this spot. It's like a belly band. And you can put in a full sheet of writing paper in there. You can have little things in the pockets and so on and so forth. So once again, to show you this one, what I did here, because the envelopes are so stark white, and then I went in with this kind of aged kind of, you know, paper. It just wasn't looking good. So I used my these scissors to kind of have that wiggly edge. So to me, this looks like an extra large postage stamp, right? So I just glued that on. You can have a pocket there and whatnot. Did the same thing over here, and you know, really look how cool. And how easy, how simple. A beautiful interactive page in a journal, or it can even be on the cover of a journal. I would totally go there. Have it on the cover. You can have little mini journals in here. So instead of, like I was contemplating, maybe binding a few pages in. But you have to keep in mind that this can't be too thick, because then otherwise it won't sit flat when you close it. It's quite nice and flat. But let's say if I have more things in the pockets, or if I had bound a few pages in, like, you know, what would happen? Let's test it out. It kind of, you know, minor little I don't know if this is worth mentioning for the video, but I'm sure you would have worked it out yourself. But there we have it. If you have things that are too thick, your envelopes are not going to close properly. All right, what do you think? What do you think? You have to let me know. Okay, shall we move on? Oh yes, let's move on. Idea number 5 is envelope tuck spots. I really had to get creative with naming these ideas, but let me just show you what this is. So over here you can see the envelope is upside down, and we have pockets and a tuck spot. And then when you open it, we have another tuck spot in here, and that's all using one envelope. And we'll come back to this, and we'll do the thing, looking at all the fun stuff. And then on this page, I did it the other way around. So the tuck spot is on this side, and then on this side we have the top big tuck spot and a pocket, I should say, and then, you know, another one of these. All right, so can you see this? How simple, like how simple is that? Look at that. That's one envelope, and that's the other envelope. And I'm going to show you how to make this, and then we'll come back to these fun goodies over here. So the basis for most of these ideas here was just looking at an envelope in a different kind of way, like turning it upside down, thinking, what can I do with this? And also once it's slit open, which I'm about to do. Here we go. Now that it's open, I'm opening it up and kind of thinking, what can I do with this, and how can I utilize this? I thought, well, I'm going to cut this off. So I tried that, but then what happens is, I don't know how, I didn't foresee that that's what's going to happen. Then you have this ugly space here. So that didn't work out, but let's just go back to this. So what we have right now is an envelope that You can go ahead and emboss if you wish. I won't, I'm just gonna leave it as it is. Now, what I want to do is turn it kind of turn it the other way. All right, we've turned it the other way. And now I want to get rid of these things. That's what happened when I just cut these off and realized, oh, that's not gonna work. I just flipped it to the other side. Too much talking and not much working. There, I said it myself, so you don't have to. And now you have this thing. You can do 1,000,001 things with this thing. I'm only presenting a few ideas. Here's what I meant before. Like, I chopped it off and I thought, oh, that's not gonna work, is it? Because I thought it might be a cool little open up a letter kind of thing. So we are at this point. We're gonna turn it the other way and then grab your page. This is your page in a journal or your journal cover. And then you can have it down the bottom here, which is what I've done on this page. And oh, by the way, I have to show you something. I have never done this before. Can you see that sewing? Can you see that it's two different colors? I threaded brown and yellow, 2 threads through my needle in the sewing machine. I mean, I'm sure I didn't make this up. Like, I made it. I thought, why don't I try this? I've never seen it before. I'm sure people do it, but look at that, 2 threads. Oh, how cool does that look? This actually isn't, obviously you don't want to kind of, well, I suppose you could take it to your sewing machine and just sew right through, but I didn't. Anyway, I just sewn that part there just for looks, and then I glued it onto the page. Now, I keep getting sidetracked, sorry about that. So we have it here, and now what I would do is apply glue just over here, just the bottom part, and glue it. So at this stage, what you will have is this glued section here, and this is your tuck spot. You can go ahead and, you know, like I said before, emboss, sew around, put little, you know, make it look pretty. And then on the other side, what you have is this happening, which is what you see here. So of course, all I did is I hide this ugly looking thing with scrapbook paper. So obviously you would do all of this kind of before gluing it on your page. So you grab your scrapbook paper and you can glue it down, you can sew it down. I'll just do all the demonstrating and no talking from now on. So you have your envelope and you turn the flap the other way. You want a piece of paper that's going to cover the whole flap. I had this on my desk, so I'm using it, and it's not going to cover the whole thing, so I'm just going to cut it off, whatever is, you know, whatever is showing, and glue that on. Now what you can do, I don't know if you can see, these are all little details. It's the little details that make projects special. It's not, when you look at this, ugly, and then you look at a finished project, you still might think it's ugly, but you know, I think it's pretty because of these little details. So you have your thing, and I do have that wiggly cutter, but if you don't, just use your scissors and do a little wiggly kind of thing like this. Wiggle away, my love, and ink those edges to make it really stand out. And there we have a little wiggle edge. And now if you want, you can take it to your sewing machine, make it pretty, whatever, you can sew around. And then you take your page, you glue it down just there. You have a tuck spot, and then on this side you want to make this into a pocket, so you open it up and apply your glue only on the 2 sides, like so, and close. Lovely. You have now created a large pocket here, and then you open this one up and you apply glue onto. Oh goodness, oh, that scared me. I think my dog Banjo forgot that my son is at home. All right, so now, as I was saying, you glue on this side and you glue on this side, and then you close it down. I know it's pretty self-explanatory, but I think it's fun, like seeing it in action kind of thing. And then you have a tuck spot here, and then you have this thing. We'll come back to this because I'll fill up all of the pockets. Or you can reverse it. You can have it up the top, and you do the exact same steps. And then over on the other side, what will happen, you have a large pocket here, and you have a pocket here. Great. See what I mean? Like easy, kind of nothing special, you know. But then when it's in a project, in a journal, and when it actually has stuff inside, it just Looks beautiful. Okay, here I have a little doily and a bit of sewing, and it's journaling kind of a spot thing. You know, I was doing this, and look how cool that looks. It looks like a house. And then a large oversized tag is from my avocado dyeing expeditions. Look at this. Does it not look like a house? Look how beautiful this looks. You cannot deny. From a simple little nothing to like, it's the little touches, the little things. All right, let's stop talking. Then I'll over here for this one, because I was going with the whole house thing. Look at this. You see what's going on? You see that? Oh, hang on, let me make that roof. You see that? I'm obsessed with houses. So I wanted to make a journal, a rather tall little, I shouldn't say journal, it's more of a little notebook. You know, I have a few pages bound in there. I could do the bead thing, you know. And then, yeah, need I say any more? I did that forever home kind of thing, you know. You see the sentiment. And there's a little house with the door, with the roof. All right, now over here, I have this tag that, oh voila, opens up. Even this idea can be taken further and bind pages. I have done this before, like a tag shaped journal booklet kind of thing, which, by the way, let me just quickly mention, I have a lot of people, you know, asking me a lot of things that I have covered in videos before, or I have made tutorials already. I don't know if you know this, but there is a search button on every YouTube page. So if you go to my treasure books page, right, and you see my latest videos kind of thing, there's a search button. Let me just see where it is. All right, so I totally was not planning to do this. It just came up to me. So here it is. This is my page, or any YouTuber's page. And then you go onto this little search button here. You click on that, and then you type in whatever you feel like let's say envelopes. Envelope, let's do envelope, and then see what comes up. And then there's all the tutorials on all of the things that I have done with envelopes. And it just keeps on. It keeps on going, so there's plenty there. Here's another one. In my latest video, which is this one here, 6x6 paper pad, I showed this, not this, but this effect, the waterfall effect. And I had so many people ask me, how do you do that? And this is one of those things that I thought that is, once you see it, you know how to do it. But let's say you want to see if Natasha from Treasure Books has a tutorial. You type in, you can just type in one word like waterfall, and let's see what comes up. So I typed in waterfall because it's called Waterfall Journals, and here we go. Cascading waterfall junk journal tutorial on how to do the cascading thing. So I don't know if you knew that. Did you know that? Let me know in the comments down below. Did you know that you can search a specific tutorial, or like, I know you know how to search on YouTube, but did you know that you can search each YouTuber if you want to see how Natasha from Treasure Books does this particular thing? Then you can search my channel. And then to finish it off, there we go. What do you think of this? Like I said before, my thing is, I love interactive, I love prompts, like journaling prompts and things that you pull out and things that you discover and then you look at, and like telling a kind of a story. That came to me because of the houses thing. Anyway, let's move on. We are up to idea number 6. I'm calling it a mini album. I'm not sure if that's what it is, but like I said before, I had to get crafty. I had to get real crafty with coming up with these names, because I don't know, what do you call this? Flip out. I've already got 2 flip out things. All right, so that's one. It looks a little bit like, what? Complicated? It is not. It is so easy to do, and I'm going to show you how to do it. All right, so that's the kind of thing. Like this one doesn't. This one almost seems like that infinity book. You can just keep turning and we'll keep turning. And this one, not really, but anyway, they're done the same way. So let me show you. And this is pretty cool, like this element that I've added in here. Just wanted to show you, you can have it like this, opening up, or it can like be all the way inside with the doily hanging out. I don't know, it's just fun. All right, let's demonstrate some stuff. You take envelopes. You don't need to cut anything. You do this and you put the flaps together, all right? And then you glue the flaps together. You're not gonna believe how easy this is. you look at the finished project and it looks so elaborate and like, oh, I don't know how to do that. But this is all it is. We're doing this one here first, because for this one, we actually have to open the envelope. So we'll do this next. Let's take a breath and let's just do it. All right, so that's what we have now. And if you have a look inside, where is the flap? Where is this thing that we've glued it together? Well, it's not there because you know why? I'm about to chop it off. All right, so that's the flap there, and I chop it off. Off it goes. And then you find the middle, and then you make a little cut there, just like so. I also like to kind of go in a little bit on a slant. And this is what we have now. And you can see that's where this comes in. These are, oh, did I mention? I don't think I mentioned that these are pockets. And this one here as well, pockets. I might have mentioned that. And now the next thing that you would do at this stage is grab 2 pieces of scrapbook paper. And they have to be exactly the same size because we're making a pocket. And they have to be the same size as your slit, as your little piece here. I'm gonna go with this piece here. And then I'm just going to cut it to the size of that piece. And I need 2 pieces that are exactly the same. Okay, so I have 2 pieces that are exactly the same. And then at this point, before I glue anything in, I want to check, you know, how much is sticking out. You might want to leave it. You might like it sticking out. If you don't, then just trim it down to size. Perfect. And now we can create a little notch here to kind of showcase that that's a pocket. You know, or you can do that after, it doesn't matter. And now what you want to do is make a pocket before you glue them on, but kind of leave space down the bottom because that will come next. So let's just make a little pocket. So I'm going to apply a little bit of glue just on the sides, up the top and down the bottom here. Pop this on top and then line everything up. And I have this thing going on. So that's going to be the little pocket, but it needs to glue. Over here, this is not glued down yet. So now what we're going to do is glue that on there. So I'll just apply a little bit of glue onto the flap there and on the other side. And glue that on, maneuver it into place, and here we go. That we have that element happening. You repeat the same for this flap here. You do the little notch here, you round the corners, and you fill up your things. So I don't want this video to be a million years long, so I'm not actually going to do the whole thing, but I just wanted to show you the way that I've done it here. The pockets are on the inside. On this one here, I oriented it the other way. The pockets are on the outside. So when you're gluing your envelopes, that's when you decide, do I want the pockets on the inside or the outside? If you want the pockets on the inside, of course, you're going to glue your flaps down together like this. And then this will create the, you know, the mechanism for the pockets. And your pockets are on the inside. Of course, if you want to have your pockets on the outside, like I did here, which I'm about to show you in a moment, because maybe I'm being confusing right now, I don't know. You just flip it the other way around. And then the mechanism for your extra little stuff you're going to glue in is on the inside. And the pockets are on the outside. All right, now, let me show you this to give you ideas on how you can, where you can go from here and what you can kind of do. I've already kind of shown it already. But as you can see, this is my envelope. This is what it looked like. It was glued together. And then I went ahead and cut out the, I wish you could feel this, it's velvet and it's raised and embossed, well, raised, and it's beautiful. Anyway, so I have that on the front to make it pretty, and then you've seen this kind of opening up, and it's just a fun thing to have, journaling spot. And I have that on both sides. This is just index cards that I folded in half to fit in there, and I have some pretty little corners happening here. I have some doilies that I use the brad to secure down, and of course, love my sewing machine and this beautiful stitch, which is another thing that lots of people ask me, what is the stitch called? I have no idea. On the inside, I covered this panel That's this empty panel here. You can do so much there. Empty canvas for whatever, collage, you know, writing, whatever. But I want to make it pretty. I don't know why. I just went in and I covered it in with that scrapbook paper. Now looking at this, I don't think mini album is an apt name for this kind of thing, but more so actually for this kind of thing. I think I called this mini album because I don't know why. Why did I? Anyway, let me show you this. We have some pockets and pockets, and then this opens up, and then you have all this canvas here, and then this opens up, and then over here we have the same thing. We have the pockets and the pockets, and then you think that's it, it's done. But wait, there's more. If you order today, you get 50% off. No, I'm just joking. Anyway, with here we are, okay? And you can open it all the way. Oh, even more fun. Oh, does this not look so good? I don't know why, but I like it. Okay, I can open all the way. So let's make this one real quick. I just like this. It's so interactive and fun. All right, for this one, we need 2 envelopes. Any type of an envelope that you have will do. It doesn't have to be these long ones. And now we're going to slit the openings, or slit the sides open rather. Now with this flap, we're going to push it back to the other side like this and like this. And we are going to glue them together, just like we've done in the previous thing that I've shown you. Okay, and now we have this kind of a thing, and you can see this opens all the way like this and like this. Perfect. That's all there is to it. Okay, and now you can start having a bit of fun. So what I did, as you can see here, with these kind of rounded sides. So this is this panel here. So all I did is chop this part off. And I'll do it on both sides. Now your envelope might be completely different. You just kind of have a look at what you're working with and decide what you want to do and how elaborate you want to be with this project. That's all there is to it. So you can see here, embellished, non-embellished, and this opens up, and then this way, and then we are here, and then we open it up. And this is where the little panels come in, little pockets that I've demonstrated in the previous section. So I might want to do a large pocket here rather than 2 pockets. So what I'm going to do is trim this down. You can really have so much fun with this. You can have 3 pockets, you know, that flip out and whatnot. Or you can have a large one like I'm about to do, because why not? I might find something in my offcuts folder. I might go with these 2. I'm gonna cut it down to size. I like to leave a little bit of space, of course, down the bottom, and same up the top. They have to be exactly the same size, so I'm just gonna trim both of them at the same time and trim away. I'm gonna glue them together just on the side, top and bottom, but don't bring it all the way down. Glue them together. There's my large pocket. I might round the corners. I might do a little notch in the middle, ink the edges. The pocket is glued shut, but we didn't glue the bottom because now we're going to apply glue here and on the other side of the panel. And now this little thing goes in between here. Maneuver into place, and you might have some glue seeping, so get rid of that. All right, perfect. We have a large pocket there in the middle. And now you can decide here what you want to do. So as you can see, I covered the panels in scrapbook paper. First, I kind of covered this side, and I was going to leave this side as it is. But then I thought, well, actually I did. I just added a pocket. But then, you know, from this, you take it to where you want it to go. You can have pockets here. You can make it like a really fun pocket book, right? And you can do collages, whatever, you know, let your imagination run wild with this one. But I did actually, that's why I started covering, because I wanted to cover these bits. So I'm just going to show you one panel in case you're wondering, like, how do I get the perfect kind of thing with scrapbook paper. So in case you want to know, let's say you want to cover the inside with your paper, right? I grab my scrapbook paper and I draw an outline. I don't know how well you can see that, but the outline is there, and then I cut it slightly smaller. All right, and there's your panel. And then I went ahead and I thought I might as well do this as well. And then I did this too, and I did this too, right? So, it really, like I said before, it really depends on how elaborate you want to be with this and where you want to take it. This is a one thing leads to another kind of a situation, right? It just keeps on turning. Keeps on turning. The wheels are turning. Look at that. All right. Easy, right? So easy. But it seems like, oh, if you had this in your hands, you've never seen it before, you've never made it, you'd be like, oh, how, what's happening? You can even like have a little tiny signature in here, maybe, with some extra pages, or even there in the middle, so many things that you can do. And let's recap. Idea number 1 is ephemera pockets. Idea number 2, my favorite, is the booklets. Oh, look how beautiful this looks. Let's give it center stage. Then we have idea number 3, which is the flip out pockets, and I think I want this one center stage. Idea number 4, which is the flip out belly band. Idea number 5, which are the envelope tuck spots, and I can't fit everything. This is preposterous. Things are not fitting. They must all fit. And idea number 6, which is the mini album. I think that's what I'm calling it. That's what we're going to go with. All right, I have tried to rearrange everything so that things look pleasing to the eye. I run out of a little thing here. And there we have it. That's all I have for you today. I hope you feel inspired. Please let me know if you do feel inspired. Have you seen these before? Have you done it before? Will you be making them? And which one is your favorite? My favorite, I've already said this, but I think it's this one, and then it's this one, and the belly. I like them all. Least favorite, I can easily say least favorite is the mini album thing, this one here. I don't know why. Now I feel bad, like I feel bad for it to say it's my least favorite. If I didn't enjoy it, if I didn't like it, it wouldn't be here on this video today. So I like you too. All right. Thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.